Did you notice these details in Alan Becker's Animation versus Minecraft? For someone that's an alleged pacifist, Blue is kind of a sore loser and really competitive. He's someone that really enjoys his praise and really wants to win when it comes to competitions. During the building contest, we can see how enthusiastic Blue is to show off his work, and when he bombs Green's work for winning. Blue in this episode was also quick to chastise Red until Orange motions for all of them to be supportive, which he snaps out of and starts clapping. He does clap for Green, but it's much slower than the others and feels more sarcastic, which is a great precedence to the fact that he does initiate the bombing. In the ultimate minecart, he bombs everyone. He grabs Green by the neck and slams him down. He argues with Red that he deserves to win, and he just straight up tackles Orange. What did Orange do? But he does get supportive, and he doesn't really go overboard most of the time when it comes to wanting to win. He knows that there's a boundary between chill, bro-like competitive nature versus actually being a douchebag. Subscribe for more Alan Becker analysis. Did you notice these details in Alan Becker's Animation versus Minecraft? Green likes suffocating people. Specifically, if he's in a serious fight, or against Orange apparently, he aims for the neck. There's a stark difference in Green's fighting style when he's in a more relaxed environment and when his goal is murder. In hand-to-hand combat with higher stakes, Green focuses on aiming for an enemy's neck, shoulders, and head, when they're fellow stick figures. Against Purple, he hooks his arm around Purple's neck, which shoves Purple down. Then he bashes Purple's head in with a downward pummel. He also exclusively goes for the face when he starts his assault, and then the back of Purple's neck. When Purple tries to get up, he grabs him by the back of the neck. Against Primal, Green aims for the head twice when he yanks the back of Primal's head to kick into him, and then when he spins his body around, he slams Primal into the handrail. He also aims for Primal's face with the final kick. Against the King, Green uses the fishing rod like a noose. He swirls it around the King's neck, then pulls the rod back, choking the King out. Conversely, Green is a stick figure that's prone to getting choked. He is grabbed by the neck by the King in parkour, and then in the King. If you want to see a breakdown of Green's complete fighting style, check out the video here. Did you notice these details in Alan Becker's Animation versus Minecraft? Red and Blue's dynamic is so underrated that I really want to appreciate it because whatever carefulness or gentleness Blue has in the microcosm of his characterization is immediately evaporated when Red's more childish antics start kicking in. Blue's actually much more unhinged whenever he's with Red, playing into the antics of either messing up Red's plans, getting messed up in Red's plans, being a chaotic duo together, or just straight up asking for a fight. In serious fights, Blue's attentiveness and combat also makes him a great support for Red. He's also been there for Red to catch him when he goes too far or just straight up throwing him. In the Ultimate Minecart, they're the ones that fight against each other. And I also like how they're each other's hype man in parkour, showing that while the others are much more competitive, Red and Blue just give them the spotlight just in case they get murdered. I love that even though Blue can be much more subdued when with equally calmer sticks like Orange and Yellow, he still happily expresses his chaotic side when he's with Red and matches his energy. Subscribe for more Alan Becker analysis. Did you notice these details in Alan Becker's Animation versus Minecraft? The character duos in the episodes make for a lot of fun shenanigans, but one thing I noticed is that they all accidentally have to pass on the one working brain cell between them. Let's start with Blue and Red. Blue's calmness and level-headedness absolutely disappears whenever he's with Red, and he adopts a more rambunctious, go-with-the-flow mannerism, enabled by Red's proclivity to fight and his more younger brother tendencies. But Green actually mellows Red out by being Red's voice of reason. He strikes the perfect balance of being the one that facilitates Red while also partaking in Red's more mellow tomfoolery. That rationality goes out the window though when Green's with Yellow, who enables his more competitive and subtly becomes his own rival in competitions and challenges. Plus, Yellow usually feeds into Green's love of winning by hosting or sabotaging competitions, letting Green let loose against his fellow sticks. Then, Yellow's proclivity to world-ending catastrophes are counteracted whenever Orange is here to be an unwilling victim. Orange shows the most resistance to Yellow's more reckless side and either indulges it or beats him up for it, whichever comes first. Then we go back full circle with Orange and Blue. I don't know, I just found that chain pretty interesting. Subscribe for more Alan Becker analysis. Did you notice this detail in Animation versus Minecraft? Actually no, the influencer arc technically. You know that saying that if that one friend that's normally calm and caring actually gets mad and disappointed at you, you've messed up big time? In the influencer arc, The sticks each deal with Green's slow descent into LA streamer levels of hubris differently, but Blue has been one of the more dedicated supporters of Green, and surprisingly the one that Green has the least problems with, considering that throughout the episodes of AvM, they were really close together. When Green's attacked by the corrupted video, he immediately runs to check up on him. He's also very involved and dedicated in his roles throughout their shooting of the superhero videos, and when Green goes off on that YouTube outro, he's the last one to leave. He's also the one with the least amount of shown cut content and ideas. But when Green goes too far and actually boils them alive in lava, Blue is the second one to leave after Orange lashes out. Probably a callback to the fact that he knows what it feels like to get boiled in lava. I don't know, I just find that kinda sad. Though at the very least he did try to call out to Green before getting grabbed by the big amalgamation. Also, can I just say that I really feel bad for Yellow in this scene? Red had to pull him up from the lava and he just drops to the ground and starts coughing to the point that Red has to stay and support him. Subscribe for more Alan Becker analysis. I find it kind of interesting that each of the warm-colored sticks, red, orange, and yellow, display a unique kind of creativity when in combat. Yellow takes on solution, red for adaptation, and orange for construction. Yellow's creativity shines when it comes to finding ways out of a situation through a series of actions. He's the one that tries to come up with what they can do to win and usually finds the most unorthodox ways of solving a problem. Red, on the other hand, is adaptation. Rather than focusing on just what to do, he also focuses on using the environment as his personal arsenal. He's the most creative of the sticks when it comes to situational awareness and environmental manipulation. In the parkour, we actually see him assessing the environment first before he goes run and gun, especially when the others are way too impatient to see this. Orange, lastly, creates things to defend him, generating things out of thin air to defend himself or his allies, which leads to a lot of amazing fight scenes that uses monsters and tactics that nearly bend reality. I don't know, I just found that interesting. Subscribe for more Alan Becker analysis. Did you notice this detail in Alan Becker's Animation vs. Minecraft? Purple is a connoisseur of psychological warfare, and one of his best feats in the series is how accurately he formulated a plan to finally cake Green not by counteracting his speed, but rather by targeting his feeling of security. In the prank episode, we can see Purple doing his master plan that would inevitably get Green caked by the end of the episode. And at first, he starts moving the old drawings around and we see that he's considering a lot of Red's old plans. He reconstructs the one where Blue gets hit instead and makes a new arrow redirecting instead to Red while removing Green. Then he gets the one with Red and Green sitting at the table. We also see him consider the sneak attack approaches like the one with the wall cake, the sand cake, and the surprise cake. You can also see the little Green telling him to stop. By the end of the shot where Red hugs Purple, the drawings on the wall actually resemble the end sequence. Green and Red go on a picnic, Green's holding the basket, Red tricks him with the fake chest and the fake lever, and then they continue with the picnic with Green's guard lowered. I love when the little background details also make sense in animation. Purple is a great lad. I actually calculated how many cakes were wasted during this episode, so if you want to see it, check it out on my channel. Did you notice these details in Alan Becker's Animation vs. Minecraft? Red's the character that enjoys taking care of random monsters and animals, but I think one of his biggest crimes against humanity is his proclivity to summoning way too many abominations. He has accidentally spawned way too many rabbits by feeding them so many carrots, has done that to the point of killing the Ender Dragon with this strategy, and he's also spawned a lot of rabbits out of a hat courtesy of Yellow. But Red's more fantastical amalgamations come in the form of him randomly jamming in a bunch of spawn eggs into a spawner and creating all sorts of creatures to the point of flooding all of them. But my favorite moment is in Animation vs. Minecraft, the real time, where we see what he's doing in the background while Blue is in the nether, and everyone else was resting. He's been at it with his mad scientist spawning, and he accidentally spawns a bunch of zombies without thinking about it twice. The gang, sans Blue, have to fight them off to the point that they summon a bunch of iron golems to help. Red, sometimes too many friends, is a bad thing. I'm gonna be honest with you, I think this is the most damage that Blue's ever taken without getting killed. Third time I think that he's been hit between the legs. The first one is in Piglin War, the second one is in Ender Dragon. Subscribe for more Alan Becker lore bit.